Okay. Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order and please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Aaron, will you please take the roll?
Councilmember Pointer. Here. Councilmember Sherburne.
Here.
Councilmember Gray.
Here.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Here.
Councilmember Dittrich.
Here.
Okay, there are only one change, I think, to the agenda that 1.9.
All of them.
The proclamation, yeah, I'm just gonna make an announcement, so there won't be a proclamation, so we can remove that. So with that, is there any other changes to the agenda? No, okay, I'll take a motion with that amendment on it today.
I move approval of the agenda, without 1.9.
Okay. I hear a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Marion?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
And Linda? Yes. Okay, thank you. We have a lot of fun things to celebrate tonight. So I'm gonna start off first. I believe Scott Schober is here for a presentation.
Yes, Mayor, council members, thanks for the opportunity to present tonight at your meeting. Here with me, or I'm Scott Schober. I'm the executive director for the Iowa Rural Water Association. And here with me tonight is Roddy Losser, current IRWA board president and general manager for Rapid Regional Water. So just a little bit about ourselves. We are a nonprofit membership organization that provides water and wastewater technical assistance to all systems in Iowa. And part of that membership is our scholarship program. And I'm pleased to be able to present a scholarship tonight to Mr. Parker Peterson. In the amount of $3,000.
Wow, congratulations.
And this was made possible by his previous achievements and then also his willingness to go on to do things further in our industry. And one noteworthy statistic I want to share is between Parker's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, they have over 100 years of service to the water and wastewater industry.
Wow.
That's very impressive. So, congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's take a picture of you guys somewhere, we can do in a nice. Over kids as well here, so you can get a nice presentation picture. Mom and dad probably want to be in that too. Carla, I can take a picture with you if you like.
Still might have to move. Yeah, I didn't need it, but. Oh, well, I get in there. I know, I thought about that.
Okay, who's going first? Okay,
We're good.
all right. I got three. All right. Oh, shit, you have. No, it looked like your guys. Okay, congratulations. All right. Next, we have another award that we would like to present tonight. I received a really lovely letter. Oh, it's been a month or so ago, I guess. But anyway, I'm gonna read it to y'all, and then we're gonna do another presentation here. Castle Theater plays a big part in our community. It gets volunteers involved to help at the concession stand. And there's one person who does all of this, and that's Christy. Christy organizes a schedule for 9 shows each week. The many volunteers that she has to organize help to keep the cost of running the theater down. It would be interesting to know how many groups of people have helped over the years. That is one major task that she does really well. The Castle Board is a great support for her and has given her the go-ahead to open the theater to many community events. She solicits financial support for free movies for the kids. She organizes reading certificates for teachers to use to encourage their students to read. She makes it easy for patrons to purchase tickets and reserve seats online. She opens the theater for birthday parties, special movie events for schools, summer free movies, and once a month on Sunday afternoon, a group of sponsors, family free family-oriented movie for the community. She does a fundraising drive to supports the financial costs of keeping the theater open. She has to keep track of building maintenance. I am sure there are many other things that I'm not privy to that Christy has to do. Many people from our communities come to Manchester for the movie, and then they also eat at our restaurants and shop at local businesses. There are many great things about living in Manchester, and I just want to recognize Christy Davis for all the work she does to make Castle Theater an important part of our wonderful community. And because of that, I think we're gonna start a new kind of thing to promote the people who do make our community so welcoming and do those things, go above and beyond to make sure that we have all those fun things to do here in our community, and you're really kind of the heart of our community. So we are going to present you, if you wouldn't mind meeting me over there. It's with my privilege and honor, presenting you with the Heart of the Community Award.
Oh, thank you.
And we are recognizing Christy Davis for her unwavering dedication and countless hours of service in ensuring that the Castle Theater remains a vibrant hub for our community. Christy's tireless efforts span everything from recruiting volunteers and organizing fundraisers to maintaining the building and keeping it clean. She plays a key role in hosting special events, coordinating movie days for schools and organizations, birthday parties, researching and implementing new technology to enhance the theater experience. Through her passion and energy and wholehearted commitment, Christy truly has made Castle Theater the heart of Manchester. We're gonna get a picture of you as well. Can we do that over here? We'll just do that.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna just sit next to Corey.
We'll come on over
Why?
here. Chris. Do you want somebody?
Yeah,
Family
my,
member?
yeah, my daughter's here.
Oh, and she helps a lot. too.
Yeah,
She
she
does.
does.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this.
Okay.
And give this like you're passing it.
Okay.
Oh, but, yeah.
And just so you know, it was Kathy Griffin who wrote that lovely.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you gonna talk now, Bill?
I'm standing for my gym. Don't bother to sit down.
Okay, we got one more. We have one more for tonight. We have a accommodation for police officer Nick Holm. And we're gonna let Chief Davis do the presentation for that.
All right. Even though that we don't do our job every day with the thanks that we get, every once in a while, I do have letters of compliments that come in of the officers that act above and beyond what they normally do in their duties. So on March 23rd, Officer Nick Hall responded to a 2-year-old son that was in respiratory distress and unresponsive. During that time, Officer Hall was a calm, cool, and collected, a peace officer, provided aid to that individual that was 2 years old, and actually got a good resolution out of the whole thing. So with that, Nick, if you want to come up here. This is an excellence on duty commendation presented to Police Officer Nick Hall for outstanding actions performed in routine duty. With unwavering composure and swift response, Officer Hall rendered critical aid to an unresponsive infant, exemplifying courage, professionalism, and a deep commitment to the safety and well-being of the community. Your actions reflect the highest ideals of law enforcement and serve as an inspiration to your peers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll get your picture over here.
And just so everyone knows, this is Nick's second. Slide over.
Yeah, we're gonna get you one of the flag. There you go. There you go.
You all over your family?
Sure. Chloe, I'm gonna make them up here.
New baby.
What's your little girl's name?
Luella.
Luella. She's
Yep.
so cute. Oh, look at her, look at that. All right.
Thank you.
Did you guys want a picture of him with the little guy? Yeah, let's do that. You want a picture with the little guy? Let's do that. I'm sure that'll mean more to you guys. To have that, I mean, that's special. All right. Absolutely, we'll make that happen. So sorry. We're all about pictures today. Giving you a celebrate, I like that.
Wait, one more.
Anderson. Good job, buddy. Then I saw the kids. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was the key to the whole thing. Okay. Thank you, Chief. Okay, in addition, we are proclaiming, National Arbor Day. This was established in 1872 by the Sterling Morton proposed to Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting trees. And this holiday, Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. So, I am here for letting you all know that I'm declaring today National Arbor Day. So you can make note of that. Also, I've been asked to announce that, it's also, May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And starting on Monday, May 1st, there's going to be, people coming around to all the businesses with green chalk. It's the green chalk, brigade thing. They are going to be asking people to put positive affirmations, write them on their front, the sidewalks in front of all the businesses downtown. So, they will be coming and reaching out to those individually, and we hope that people will do that, and they'll be reading them, and it will help spread some kindness and goodwill to everybody. So that will be on May 1st. Okay, now it's time for public input. If you'd like to speak to the council, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record before proceeding with your comments. Individual remarks are limited to 5 minutes, with the overall public input period limited to 30 minutes. Under Iowa Meetings Law, the city council can take no formal action on comments given during public input, which do not relate to action items on the agenda. Would anybody like to speak? Go right ahead. Yes.
Hello, Ron. My name is Shelby Pierce. Thank you for all serving as council members to our city of Manchester. I live at 704 East Howard Street. I'm here tonight as a citizen as well as a former wife of a former police officer for the city of Manchester. I have quite the long narrative written here, and I'm going to go off course, but I only have 5 minutes. I have a lot of emotion and a lot of things to share. Ms. Mayor and Mr. Vick, you both received a letter from me in which I've received no response
We
to.
were going to get something after.
If I may, I
so-
brought the response with me tonight.
Perfect.
Okay.
I would like to share my own personal view with the rest of the council as well as members of the community here today. I'm the wife of a former police officer, John Pierce, who has served our community for 12 years faithfully, simply wanting to do good in our community. It has been easy for you to assume that my views might be one-sided. However, I think any decent human being would see that the actions made by members of the Manchester Police Department are disgusting and unacceptable. Bullying is a word I never would imagine using in my adult life. There is no other word to describe what has been happening within the department for years. For any parties involved to claim to believe that their actions were jokes of camaraderie, is a bold-faced lie, and they are well aware of that. It has never been about buddies exchanging a laugh. It has always been targeted, malicious, and an attempted expression of power and authority of others deemed to be weak or inferior. Stealing and hiding personal items, intentionally throwing personal items in the mud, mocking attempted advancements in career, and placing faces on sexually explicit photos does not even begin to scratch the surface of the intolerable behavioral taking place. I know administration is aware of this and much more. The reason I'm here today as a citizen is I have no faith in our city's police department, as no one should. I have been a police wife. I never imagined I would. I never imagined I'd move across the state away from my family to hopefully establish a life in a community we believe to be a lifelong investment. And that has changed rapidly within the last few months. I'm really sorry. I value what police officers do. I work in public service myself. I'm a school counselor. I know they do good. Clearly, we've seen that here tonight. What's been happening amongst coworkers is asinine. Defamation of character is damning, and nothing has been done to stop this behavior. The reason my husband is leaving after 12 years of qualified work in serving the community is because nothing was done after his complaints were made. That is why he's leaving. It's not an easy job being a police officer. It's not an easy job being a light support of a police officer. I never imagined I would be my husband's support after an attempt to revive a lifeless infant, or helping him cope through the guilt of a young adult dying by suicide. The job is beyond challenging, not only for the officers, but the families who sacrifice just as much. What excuse is there for this mistreatment? And they're supposed to be on your team. My husband and I keep to ourselves. Frankly, he would probably, although he supports me through and through, this would never be something he would do because he's a quiet, kind-hearted man who just wants to do good by other people. Today when I drove home from my husband taking his new oath of office as a deputy sheriff in Clayton County, I was met with an overwhelming sense of relief that this traumatic chapter of our life was over. In a few minutes of just being surrounded by his new coworkers, I had the instant feeling that he would be treated with respect by these members of law enforcement, and they build him up rather than tear him down. Tonight I'm here because I know the city is hiring new citizens who are new to the police enforcement world. And as I quote my husband, I just want to help people. As they're hiring new police officers, it is not fair that they're being brought into this toxic environment and seeing what this is the world of police officers is, because it's not. We live in a society that tears down police all the time, and it's because of the actions by our police department in our own community. And I think people need to be aware of that. I want to be very clear that since I submitted my letter, slander has continued regarding my husband's leaving, as the chief of police has been overheard telling members of the community that when asked why my husband was leaving after 12 years, why he'd walk away from a career like this, is because he just didn't like what he was doing. And that's not the case. And frankly, if my husband leaving is because his boss isn't addressing his concerns, I'm more proud of him. I work in a high school. I have kids here today. I wouldn't tell him to stand up for that type of behavior in anyone, and that's why we've taken the actions we have in the past few months. I've also had another officer taunting me at my place of work by going out of his way to wave at me in my office after months of nonverbal contact with myself or my husband. And after that officer blocked us from social media, extending that he had no reason to contact us, which by all means reciprocated, but by taunting me at my place of work, I felt was very unprofessional. I would love to stay for the meeting tonight as we adjust to new schedules. I have to go home to my two little babies. But Mayor and Mr. Vick, I appreciate the time tonight, and I appreciate a follow-up conversation as well. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you. Did you want to give her that response now, or do you want
I
to
was
send it to her
gonna let
after?
Kim, I thought you might want
Yeah,
to
well,
read it, since
read
I'm
it,
sending it on your
Yeah,
behalf,
yeah.
I thought you might want to see what I
Okay,
put.
yeah, that's fine.
And
We'll
thank
get
you
back
to
to
all
you.
the people who have worked hard.
They
for my
did give
husband.
that to me Thursday, so I just was bringing it with me tonight.
Sounds good. And like I said, we've had great experience with certain people in this community, and I thank you. And like I said, we'll still be here, and we care for Manchester Weaver. So
Thank you.
Thank you all
Thank you very
very
much. Thank you very much, Shelby. Okay. Anybody else want to approach the council tonight? Okay, hearing none, I'll close the public input period portion, and before us, we have the consent agenda. Okay, item 1, approval of the minutes from the April 14th city council meeting. I need a motion to approve this. Need a motion to approve resolution 36, and that's to approve the bills and expense report. Next, I need a motion to acknowledge the receipt of city reports from March 13th from the library board, April 10th from the airport committee, and April 17th planning and zoning commission. I need a motion to approve liquor license applications, 5-day special class one for Lucky Wife Wine Slushies for June 5th. Music of Macokota event, and then also for 5-day special one for Lucky Wife Wine on June 7th at the River Days event. I need a motion to adopt resolution 37. And it will amend resolution 67 of 2024, salary resolutions for Leanne Bush, Library, Emma Dunkel, Brandon Wanger, McKenna Bush, Madeline Zier, Evan Dunkel, and Mackenzie Boyd. These all swim team, and this is a pass-through basically, isn't
It
it?
is, the swim team will reimburse us for the cost of their wages.
Okay. I need a motion to approve, the appointment of Craig Francis to the Airport Committee. He's, filling the remainder of Chris Jansen's term. He submitted his resignation on April tenth. I need a motion to set May 27th, 2025 at 5 p.m. as the date and time for a public hearing on the proposed budget amendment for fiscal year 2025. And then I need a motion to approve the Iowa Department of Transportation submitted a supplemental agreement for maintenance on primary roads in the municipalities. Do you want to speak to that, Tony?
This is an annual agreement we have with the state. They reimburse us for partial cost of doing snow removal and minor maintenance on Highway 13 as it goes through town.
Okay, with that, I'll take a motion in a second and I'll open it up for discussion.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's open for any comments or questions.
Do we know why Chris is doing?
He just told me he was resigning from the committee.
He said that he potentially, there was something that's going to be changing in his job and it was going to make it difficult for him, so. I think the time of the day they meet and everything might have something to do with it too. Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, Linda,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Mary Ann,
Yes.
and Brian.
Yes.
Okay. Next, I'm going to open our public meeting or public hearing for the proposed budget for the fiscal year July 1, 2025 through June 30th of 2026, and it's 5:22. Now is the time, if anybody has any questions regarding the budget, they can speak. Okay, hearing none, at 5:23, I'm going to close the public hearing. And before us, I need a motion to adopt resolution 38 and approve the adoption of the annual budget for the fiscal year 2025 through 2026.
I move for approval of resolution 38.
Any second?
I'll second it.
Okay,
I would like to say that I'm really happy, like, as we go through doing these budgets. This is now my second one, and actually getting to see and understand more things, Tim, there on that, I appreciate it. But I'm really happy to see that we're able to, again, this year, knock down and take less. Although government, look that way,
Is reduced, yeah.
but we do consistently continue to drop and I feel good.
okay. Mary Ann,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Linda.
Yes.
Okay. Next item on our regular agenda, the city received a bid, only one bid for the runway rehabilitation project, and that was from River City Paving. I think the engineer estimated $844,099.50, and our bid came in at $508,084.70. That's awesome. Do you want to speak to this a little bit more?
Yeah, so now that we have received the bid, we can submit this to FAA to get a grant put together. They will base it off of what the bid project is because they don't typically amend grants if something comes in over. So this is what we'll be looking at for grant amendment. This is again eligible for a 95.5 match. We do have $600,000 in airport improvement program funding that will cover this without even having to worry about our bilateral infrastructure improvement funding or structure funding. So we are well covered on this. I need to get this submitted off the FAA so we get this turned around. So we don't lose the federal funding that we have coming to us.
This is not awarding the contract yet,
Right.
but it's acknowledging receipt and authorizing us to continue on with the funding.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid on the Manchester rehab.
Acknowledge, receive the bid
Acknowledged.
and direct the city manager to submit the application for the grant.
Yes, that's exactly what. I heard him say that.
I'll second.
Repeat it, Linda.
Pretty simple.
Okay. All right, any further questions or comments or discussion? All right, Bill,
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And Mary Ann?
Yes.
Okay. Next, I need a motion to adopt resolution 39, and that will approve the easements between the city of Manchester and two property owners in connection of the lights and cables. This is for the extension of the lights on South Franklin that our good friends with the Manchester Vitality Endowment has been doing. They were properties at 105 South Franklin Street and 101 East Main Street, Diane Linton Farmers and Merchants. Did you want to speak to anything on this or add any more?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, finishing that block.
Okay. Awesome.
And our plan is to have it up by the first weekend in June with this.
Oh, for the River Days.
Yeah.
Awesome. I need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to.
Are you a second?
I'll second it.
I'll give it to Joe since we'll get the last one. All right, Brian,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes,
Bill,
Yes.
Linda. Yes. And Mary Ann.
Yes.
Okay.
and thank you to the property owners that are joining
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because.
the team of making it look beautiful down there.
All right. Next, I need a motion to adopt the resolution 40, and it's to set the fee for the bulk items collection stickers that we talked to Kleesner's about. Is that correct?
Yes, so we purchased them for $30 from Kleesner's. I didn't know, at one point we had, the council had discussed maybe selling them for $20 and offsetting the cost a little bit, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what you wanted to put in there, so I left that piece of the resolution blank, letting you decide what you would like it to be.
That's our cost is for.
Our cost is 30, yeah.
And we're gonna do a 20.
Well, that was kind of the discussion that we were positive on.
It used to be 25.
Yeah, I just wanted to make
We
sure
talked about that.
what you wanted to charge for them.
I feel that 20. I feel that 20 should work. And they're gonna pick it up at their door or yard, I should say. I mean, you can pay $20 if you wanna drive it out there, but that's an extra expense. You gotta find a truck or a trailer or a friend or a neighbor to haul it out. So I feel that $20 is actually,
And you gotta load it in the back of that pickup truck.
yeah.
And if they're getting the stuff out there, then we aren't sending somebody over to have it all cleaned up off of their properties, which saves us money then too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
20,
I think 20.
I think 20 sounds fair.
So do we need a motion
For that resolution, and we'll just put in that motion to adopt that resolution and set the fee at $20.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to set the bulk item collection sticker fee at $20.
I will second it.
Okay, Mayor.
She said it first. Okay. All right, any further discussion or comments? I'm glad to see we finally got this done. Yeah, this is awesome.
Just a reminder, this may be some change based on debate
Right,
and funding, so.
right.
Initially, we told them 50 stickers to start, and we'll just see how they go.
Are they willing to hold this fee for a certain period of time or?
We buy them up front.
Okay,
So
okay,
we just are paying, we paid for the 50 stickers and
okay, and then
then
after that,
we just keep the money.
that makes sense.
With
Okay.
inflation the way it is, should we buy more than 50?
Let's see how it goes.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Okay. So I'm gonna call Joe,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
And Mary Ann.
Yes.
Okay. Jason,
I don't have any specific construction related update other than, Tim called me earlier today, mentioned there's a random crack that I think Linda observed up on Grand Avenue. It's appeared over the winter. We'll look into that, see what it is. I'll talk to Jason Haight as well and take a look at it, just see if it's anything more than a random crack or if it's a workmanship related item that would be handled under the bond for the project. So besides that, I don't have anything else to do this evening unless there's other questions.
Could you remind me, so Grand Ave has a warranty on it, we'll call it,
Yep.
so to say.
2 years
2 years, okay.
after acceptance.
Right, because what's the one that we didn't get?
It would be the East Main Street project, it's the DOT project, and that's just a function of the way the federal aid funding works.
Right, I
It's,
just wanted
it's,
to keep them straight.
as with localized funding on localized projects, the city has a little bit more ability to dictate, the bonds and the guarantees after the fact. Federal aid and those kind of guidelines there, they strictly rely on the spec and then making sure you get to the end of the punch list. And sometimes some things take a little bit longer to make themselves apparent than maybe just the duration of the project. So it's just the different avenues of how the funding works as to what we're allowed to do.
Right.
So.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Jason. Okay, Jim,
I have nothing to bring this evening.
okay, Tim?
We just going through a lot of stuff right now. Aaron did hand out copies of the audit from last fiscal year. Please review that. We'll bring it back to you in 2 weeks for acknowledgement and receipt of the audit. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Aaron. I'm sure she's got the numbers down, Pat. That's all I have.
Okay, Aaron?
We are still working through getting ADP set up. All the employees are using it to clock in and out now. We're starting to onboard the seasonal employees, which is gonna work out really nicely. And then we had hoped the last payroll to process the actual payroll in the ADP system, but due to some errors with calculations for items, we decided to defer that until this May payroll. So we're hoping this payroll that would come out a week from Friday will be done all through ADP, but it's a learning curve, but it's, employees are responding well and it seems to be going okay.
Okay. All right. Brian?
The only thing I had was I had a call on Grandis, well, from somebody,
Okay.
so.
On the what?
They're in the crash.
Oh,
And we'll look at it again, as Jason said, if it's defective workmanship, we'll have that replaced. If it's just a random crack, it may be something we just tar and seal.
okay. All right, Linda?
Yeah, what is now that the lease is probably signed for where they had repeats on North Franklin and Corner? What's gonna go in there?
Pat's working.
Oh, and the new to you
You-
building.
I don't know that he's released the information as far as
Oh,
who's going in there. I know they're making some office spaces in there.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's all I had.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mary Ann?
On Saturday, April 19th, Jeannie Domeyer asked my husband and I and Doug Foley to act as representatives from the city. She was given a grant to put 30 trees into the fairgrounds. And she asked the three of us to come up and help the kids. We stood and watched them, but the kids did really well. They planted 30 trees in about 90 minutes. So they were hard workers. But it's nice to see some more trees up there, so I really appreciated that. Second thing is Friday, this last Friday, I went to Waverly with Maggie Summers, who is our tourism director, Don Boss, who's our economic development person, and Laura Holtz, who's the head of chamber. And the four of us met with people from Waverly. Waverly has just gone through a project where they have redone their downtown area, all the way down the bottom. And like what we will be doing, and they're also in the process of redoing a bridge. The downtown area has completed, the bridge is no place close to being done. But what we wanted to do was to talk to them about how they dealt with their stores, their businesses in the downtown area and so on. We got some really great suggestions from them, things that I think we can use. They made suggestions of things to do and things not to do, which is kind of nice to let them make the mistakes and then we can just learn from them. Yeah, so we did learn a lot. It was a good day. And we were really pleased because the first thing they said was, well, it would be really helpful if you could get some people together at a table, like your economic development people and your tourism and your city and so on. And we said,
Here we are.
here we are. And then they said, well, you really have to have a person who's really good at doing the work of talking to your contractor and back to the city. And I said, that would be Jason, and he's really good. And they said, and you have to have a good city manager. And I said, we have the best. So, we really felt like we walked out of there in a really good spot. So that was nice. Okay, my third thing is, I've been busy. Third thing is that, the trees in the entrance to the wastewater treatment plant have some problems. So I will be doing a training session with Matt to explain to him how to trim those trees. So we will actually be trimming them and so on, so we'll get rid of some of that disease that's in there, but I want you to know that Matt will actually be doing it. So, okay?
Oh, you were busy. Okay, Joe.
I should have went before her. No, I was just gonna say, drove out past the, dog park on the way in to the council meeting. That's the way I came into town and, looks like they're getting pretty close, so.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's, I don't know, I've not overly been excited about the dog park coming to town, but it is looking good, so I'm hoping that, I was wrong about it and it ends up being a really good thing for us.
The open house on that is Thursday at noon. This Thursday.
I think you were ribbon cutting.
Well, Doug said pending there's a little section of fence to be completed, so,
Yeah,
they
they didn't work on it today, but it's close.
so we will email you when we know the time for that.
Sounds good.
And the for sure date, tentatively, it's May 1st.
When did that change?
I was going to put it on Facebook and Doug on Friday, and Doug told me to hold off on anything because the fence needed to be finished.
Okay.
That was on Friday. Maybe you have newer
Listen to the
information
real
than I
boss.
do.
Listen to the real boss.
So I do. Trust me, I do.
Okay. Anything else, Jeff? Bill?
I know we brought it up, and Linda brought it up once too. I had somebody ask me, do they try to put compost out a couple times a week?
Yes.
This Sunday I went down, it was gone.
Well, you're too late. It went on Friday.
Oh, really?
And by Sunday, it's cleaned up.
It was cleaned up. There was some mulch there, but just.
And this time of year, typically, we have a lot of contractors, a lot of people coming down there and grabbing all the compost they can. We've changed a few out of there with too big a skid loader, wagon to haul it out. But yeah, we see it go out a lot in the spring like this, but we do put it out Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, okay.
Saturday, there, when I came into town, there was a guy out there with a skid loader and a dump trailer, so he thought we were just leaving $1 short.
Yeah.
Can we put a bigger pile out there?
No, because if we do, they'll take it all.
Could we go that way?
Yeah, we've done that before and it just goes, because they'll just take it all.
And I had somebody ask me, she goes, she goes, all I wanted was a couple buckets and it was gone.
Glad people are using them.
Yeah. No, that's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay, I gave you guys information for Tim's evaluation is on there, so you can get this turned back into me. And I want to thank Mary Ann for going to my place to Waverly and a couple other things this week. Got some illness going on in my family. And other than that, I did not have anything else to add. I think, my goodness, it's 5:39. We want to take a motion from Mary Ann, second from Joe, that we are adjourned, and we are adjourned. And think, oh, are you guys with government class?
How'd you know?
You're sitting here kind of talking and stuff. You know what, before we let everybody go, did you have some questions you need to ask? Where are you from? Which school? West Delaware. Oh, you're getting right in under it.
Podium stand.
Yeah, so you just come up here if you have a question to ask and state your name.
I have some questions, but.
Tell us who you are, at least.
Yeah,
Who's the government teacher up there now?
Mr. Duncan. My name's Evan Dunkel. I was featured earlier. worked in the
Yes.
Pool.
yeah.
Currently I work for Milestones as well, just
Right.
across the street.
I'm Amelia Schneiders. I work at St. Mary's.
Okay,
Orders.
okay, all right. Where are you headed off to school next fall?
University of Iowa for finance.
Okay.
Mount Mercy University for nursing.
Good for you. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Do you need a signature on your thing?
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta have a question before we sign it.
So I'll just bring it on up here. We are adjourned, so everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you.